and they're doing exactly what Diana would have wanted them to do.
What are you most excited for readers to read in your book? And is there anything you're nervous about them seeing?
Not in the slightest, no. Otherwise, I wouldn't have included it, because it's not a book about public exposure. It's really about releasing the essence of who Diana was, and to try and answer some of the questions that we may see as being unanswerable. You know, what was her death all about? Why did it affect 3.9 billion people, which was then more than half the population of the planet. It's almost 2/3 the population of the planet. So I'm very relieved that it's coming out. And who would have known that it was coming out at this time? Meaning, you know, the brouhaha that still goes on around Harry and Meghan. Although I feel, as you know, that their voice is a voice of liberation and they're doing exactly what Diana would have wanted them to do. There's still a lot of upset over moving into mindfulness and all the mental health issues that he's exposing. There's a lot in the collective shadow that needs to be expressed, and our work is all about expressing it. So we move healing.
I absolutely agree with you. As a Princess Diana fan, I find myself being a fan of Harry and Meghan's for that very reason. You use the word liberation. I think I've been saying to family and friends that my personal opinion is that she would love what, you know, the life that they're living. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that she would approve? And what do you think her thoughts are on William and Kate?
She loved her sons passionately. So wherever she may be, her spirit seems to be living on, because here we are talking about her all these years later. And, you know, suddenly there's this amazing jamboree about her 60th birthday, the unveiling of the statue. So she loved her sons. And I believe that she would be absolutely thrilled, because that was her nature. She wasn't down in the dumps. She was a person who loved humor, who loved the levity of life, who loved expanding through life. And as far as both of them moving to, it's Montecito, isn't it? That she had her eye on a property in Malibu. Oh. So she was talking about buying a property in Malibu, quote unquote, that would be really great for the boys to have freedom so that they could surf, because they're both very sportive, you know, that they could surf, they could rollerblade, they could frisbee, you know. I'm going back 20 whatever years it is, since 23 years that she died. So she'd be in complete favor. But the point is that they're really taking on so much of what her legacy is, to bring liberation to the disenfranchised, the disassociated, the LGBTQ community, Black Lives Matter, #MeToo. All of this is within the understanding of what liberation she wanted to bring about, in the sense of using her position as an egalitarian or humanitarian role, because people looked on her as being of iconic status, the most, I mean, I don't need to tell you guys, the most photographed woman in recorded history, that she wanted to use that position in a really positive way to say, look, if I can support this, then there's no reason why the collective can't move into support of this very genuine, authentic, integrous process that brings about the liberation of human spirit.
It's clear you two had a very special relationship. You spoke about it last time you were on. So what was it like being out with her in public?
Well, we had a very confidential relationship, so I didn't spend a lot of time with her in public. But when I did, she was always in disguise. Oh. So in other words, she would call me and say, darling Stewart, shall we go to the movies? And I would say, can you? And she would say, whatever. I'll meet you on High Street, Kensington, which is very near to, there's a major road, major street, which is very close to Kensington Palace. I'll meet you on the corner. I'll be wearing a black trench coat. So I would go to the corner and of course arrive slightly early, and she would come walking down, but nobody else knew that it was her, because she'd be wearing a long blonde wig.
Oh my God!
Sunglasses and a black trench coat. She didn't have the collar up, and then we would walk very briskly down the street to the movie theater and go and see a movie.
That is fantastic.
Did we see? Oh, Jerry Maguire. I remember once we laughed all the way through it. not all the way through, but some of it. So there were occasions like that, which was very, very, very private, so to speak. There was twice I was with her in public, and it was just, that she was very exposed. We can imagine walking like any star or celebrity walking out onto that red carpet, and 3,000 flashing lights. This was, as we all know, this is very intimidating. It's when you're surrounded by that level of technological hardware, there's a lot of energy there, which if you're sensitive can feel really invasive. So I was always very much in the background, just observing all of this, and then stepping forward when my position was useful for her.